Hello, you gorgeous individuals, it's Kav here, and today it is time for me to reflect on 2018 for my 2018 in review video. Basically, this is just a video where I'm going to be talking about what 2018 was like for me, to share that experience with you all, and also to have for myself, for me to look back on when I'm older and to see how the years were for me. And 2018 honestly feels like it was 2 decades long, so I'm sure this video itself is going to be pretty long, so I'm not gonna explain things with a giant intro. I'm just gonna get straight into the video, so let's jump right into it. Taking it back to January of 2018, I don't think that was a month that was the most eventful for me. January of 2018 is the month that I did get to meet Tara Sim for the first time, and Tara Sim is the author of the Timekeeper trilogy. So this opportunity was super cool, not just because she is a lovely human, but because it was the first time I got to do an author interview. I got to interview Tara Sim for my channel, which was so cool and so amazing, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity because I have been able to interview a few authors since, and I feel like that really got kicked off because of this experience and the fact that she said yes and she was so kind about it. So I'm so thankful to her for that experience, and it was just a great night. I felt so low-key that night for some reason. I just remember having such a wonderful time, and it was just such a great experience. Unfortunately, on the other hand, January of 2018 is also the month that I started relapsing with my depression, which I will get more into later on in this video. At this point in my life, I can tell you the exact day that I relapsed, which is kind of weird that I know that, but at the time I didn't notice it was happening. I didn't realize it consciously, so I can't really speak about it from that time in my life because I didn't even realize it was happening, but I know now that it's something that happened then. Moving on to February. February was a better month, I guess, because it is the month that I got to meet Danielle Clayton and Marieke Niekamp. Danielle Clayton is the author of The Bells and a COO of the We Need Diverse Books movement and a co-founder of Cake Literary. And Marieke Niekamp is the author of This Is Where It Ends and Before I Let Go. It was such a cool opportunity to meet them because both of them were so lovely and they were so supportive of my writing goals. And another super cool thing that happened is that I got to interview Danielle Clayton as well, which was so surreal because Danielle Clayton is one of my biggest inspirations in the book community, in the world, just ever. She is legitimately someone I look up to and admire so much. She is just such a lovely human, and it was so surreal to get to interview her and talk to her. And then after that, I got to talk to her about my book and my goals as a writer, and it was just such a wonderful experience that I'm so thankful for and that I will hold in my heart forever. And February is also the month that I got to go to an ex-ambassadors concert, which was such a brilliant experience. I cried multiple times during that concert. It was such a fun night. I don't talk about this as much on my channel, but I am a huge music lover. I love music. I am so invested in certain bands and certain artists, and I love going to concerts. I have such a good time at them. Going to the ex-ambassadors concert was just a wonderful night, and they are a band that I'm so proud to support because they are genuinely good people as well. They did 2 kind of rant or speech things about gun control and the necessity of gun control, and one about how they support all people, how they support queer people, how they support people of color and everything, and that was just so cool. And that's when I cried, and it was such a lovely experience. March, I honestly think, should just be coined Love Simon month because that is the month Love Simon came out, and I saw it 4 times in theaters. The first time I saw Love Simon, I saw it with a group of my friends at an early screening actually, and then the second time I saw it with my best friend in the entire world, Andrew, which was such a cool experience, and he has been on my channel a few times, but that was such a cool experience because he was there for me through my journey realizing that I'm queer and everything. And then the third time I saw it with my now ex-girlfriend. That was actually our first date. And then the 4th time I saw it with another group of my friends who couldn't make it to the early screening. So that was such an amazing experience. Just Love Simon is such a groundbreaking movie. I kind of see it as the movie that really kicked off the whole diverse book to movie adaptations thing. That's probably not even true because I'm sure it's just how they came out this year, but Love Simon is the one that came out first, so I kind of see it as that. And it's the first time I was really so invested in a movie that I went to see it in theaters more than once. I've never done anything like that before, so I feel like I got that kind of experience with this movie. And since Love Simon, I've also been seeing more movies in theaters, so that's super cool. I feel like it reignited my love of movies because it is one of my favorite movies of all time now. I think it is a brilliant book to movie adaptation, and it was just such a wonderful experience. Such a wonderful month dedicated to that one movie. March is also the month that I met Roshni Chakshi for the first time, so that was super cool because I also got to interview her for my channel, which was so amazing. She was so sweet. She came in and she was like, can I give you a hug? And I was like, yeah, you can give me like 12 hugs if you want. It was such a wonderful experience. She was so sweet. She was so lovely, and I got to tell her how much Arusha meant to me. So it was just a wonderful experience. March is also the month that I met Anna Marie McLemore for the second or third time. I met Kelly Loy Gilbert and I met Emily XR Pan, which was super cool. Again, I got to talk to Anna Marie McLemore for like 10-15 minutes, which was so cool. And me and my now ex actually kind of went on a speech about how much we love Anna Marie McLemore to her husband, who we didn't know was her husband at the time, but that was a really fun experience. So I've met both Anna Marie McLemore and her husband. And again, I got to tell Anna Marie McLemore about the fact that I'm writing and everything, and it was just such a cool experience. All three of those authors were lovely, and I loved hearing all of them talk, and it was just so great. So apparently nothing happened in April, so I'm going to jump to May. May is the month that I went to Y'all West for the second time, which was so fun. I think it was even more fun this time around because I wasn't a noob who didn't know anything at all. At Y'all West, I basically got to spend the entire day with Lindsay, aka the Hufflepuffle, and Maggie, aka a bookish fairy tale, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have them linked in the description so you can check them out. That was so cool, and it was honestly so much more low-key than my experience last year. Not that last year was bad, it was so much fun, but it was also kind of nerve-wracking because it was my first time at a bookish convention or bookish festival type thing, and this was not, so I felt so much more low-key. I actually ended up spending just like the entire afternoon in the press tent hanging out with a group of booktubers, which was so cool and so lovely. I also got to meet quite a few authors at Y'all West. I got to meet Angie Thomas the night before, so that was really fun. I got to meet Maureen Gu as well, and they were both lovely. And the day of, I got to meet the infamous J. Coles, who I mention every 5 seconds because I love him, and that was so cool because J. Coles is such an amazing person, and I think he is one of the few authors who I met only at Y'all West and nowhere else. But one of the other authors that I met for the first time at Y'all West was Julian Winters as well, who then inspired me to buy his book 2 seconds later because he's the sweetest human, and I heard Sports Gaze and I bought it. So that was really cool because both of those authors are 2 of my favorite authors in the world now, and I got to meet them, so that was fun and that was really great. And it was low-key, but I also still got to do everything I wanted to do, which was a great combination. May is also the month I came out as a lesbian, and I know that probably sounds weird to everyone because didn't we know that I was a lesbian for like 5 years? Yeah, probably, but I didn't realize it until May, so that's fun. But I think that's a pretty big thing that happened in May, that I came out as a lesbian, because though I'm comfortable with my sexuality, the fact that it took me so long to get there is really due to the fact that I wasn't comfortable with it for so long, which isn't something that I've really talked about on my channel because I feel like I'm somewhat known, although I'm not really known, but I guess people would say that they know me for being so confident, so open with this, but I struggled a lot to get to a place where I was comfortable with being a lesbian, and it was a big deal that I was able to come out as lesbian and that I was even able to realize it on a conscious level, so that was really cool and really great, and I'm gay. May is also a month where I got to meet 2 more authors. I got to meet Sandhya Menon, who I saw like 3 times this year because I also saw her at Y'all West and BookCon, and Sandhya Menon is another author I had the opportunity to interview, so definitely check that out. But she's an author who I talk about all the time because I love her. She wrote Run Nipple Mat Rishi and From Twinkle with Love, and I adore her, and just that event was so much fun. It was actually my first day of finals that I then went and met Sandhya Menon that evening because I wanted to, and that was so much fun and so lovely, and she was so sweet, and it was such a great experience. A week later, I met Marco Shiro and Nina Lacour, which was again such a lovely experience. I was dumbfounded at that experience, honestly, because it was just so incredible. Everyone was so unapologetically queer there. Like, there were so many gay people, which was weird to see so many out gay people. The fact that I got to talk to Marco Shira and Nina Lacour was so cool. I got to have a conversation with them, and it was just really, really cool, and they are both so inspirational, and it was such an incredible experience, and they were so smart and funny and just everything good. So that was really great. Then June is when I went to BookCon for the first time, which was such an incredible experience. It was 2 jam-packed days, but 2 equally good days. Obviously, the highlight of my first day at BookCon has to be the fact that I met Cassie Clare. It was a surreal experience. I cried coming out. Everyone was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay at all." It was a surreal experience to meet Cassandra Clare. You all know how much she means to me. She is my favorite author of ever, and it was so amazing to get to tell her that she was my favorite author ever and tell her how much she means to me. And it was incredible, and it was an experience that I will never forget, and I am so thankful for it. I'm so thankful to the lengths my dad went to make sure that I could get to that signing, because he tried real hard to make it happen, and he did, which never underestimate the power of my father. But I'm so thankful because that is an experience that I will treasure in my heart forever and ever. It was incredible. And then the second day, I got to spend the entire day with a group of booktubers, which was so lovely because I just felt so welcomed and so included by them, and they didn't have to do that. I'm sure half of them didn't know who I was. They were just letting me hang on because the others knew who I was. That was so cool because they were just so welcoming and so inclusive, and they didn't make me feel like I was outside the group in any which way. They just hung out with me like I was one of them. It was the first time I really felt included as a booktuber. Not that anyone is ever outwardly mean. I've never seen any booktubers be mean, but when you get to go to an event and you get to spend time with them, then it makes you feel like you're part of the crew, I guess. And that's really how I felt, and it was so weird. And it was weird when people recognized me. They were like, yeah, you're a cop, right? And I was like, yeah, how do you know who I am? It was really cool and really amazing, and I'm so thankful to everyone who has made me feel so included, and everyone honestly has made me feel included. Not a single person has made me feel excluded at all. But I want to give a specific shout out to the NorCal squad, who you know who you are if you're even watching this video, because you guys went above and beyond to make sure that I felt included, and that was really exciting, and that made me feel really cool. Along with BookCon in June, I also got to stay in New York for a couple of days and visit a little bit of New York. We went to the Met, which was really cool, and then I got to spend a week in Chicago with my sister, which was such a fun experience because it was only a week. We really did pack stuff into each day, so I was on the move, and that was really cool to have like a jam-packed week where I was doing stuff every day, where I was seeing stuff every day, where I was meeting people every day. It was really cool, and it made me feel busy, and I love feeling busy. So that was really fun, and honestly spending time with my sister was really fun because my sister is a pretty cool human being. So that was a really great experience and a really great way to kick off summer. June is also the month where I went to Pride for the first time. I went to Pride with my now ex-girlfriend and a couple of my friends, and it was such a wonderful experience. I wasn't really sure what to expect because it was my first Pride, but it was better than I could have expected. It was just like people being gay, honestly, so openly queer, and it was lovely to be in that environment, to feel so openly queer in that environment. And it was like a month after I'd come out as lesbian, and it was such a wonderful environment to be in. So that was really cool. I really loved that experience. I got a bunch of cute lesbian pics taken, and that was so fun, and it was really remarkable. July is a month where not much good happened, honestly. At the beginning of the month, my ex-girlfriend and I broke up, which is why she's my ex, and in the long run it's turned out to be good, but at the time it was definitely hard. I want to take a moment to reflect on that relationship because it was my first serious relationship. It was a relationship that was important to me. It's still important to me. She's still one of my good friends, so it's still important to me, and I'm happy to have her in my life. But I meant serious relationship as in romantic relationship. It was my first serious romantic relationship. It was really my experience with my first love. I feel like it's important to note that, and I'm very glad that I'm on good terms with the person who was that for me, because it's important to me to be on good terms with that person, and I am, and I'm very happy about that because it was really significant, and it's something that I will remember in the future because it was a significant part of my life. It may not have been the longest relationship in the world, but it was a serious one, and it was one that meant something to me, and I'm very thankful for that experience. I'm very thankful for how it turned out in the end because it's turned out for the better for both of us, and we are now both friends, and we are happy about being friends, and that's really great. I'm just glad that it had its own version of a happy ending. So that was really what happened in July, and I think that's when I started realizing that I was dealing with depression more intensely. Although I think on some level I started noticing a little bit earlier, but I wasn't really talking to anyone about it except for like one person. July is the first time I ever really mentioned it to my psychiatrist in any realm, but I really brushed it under the rug and I downplayed how serious it was. It was a month where I think I tried to fix myself. I tried to do what I needed to fix myself. I really prioritized friendship and going out, which was important. I am so glad that I've prioritized friendships and going out more this year because it has been a wonderful experience, but it's not enough to fix depression. It was stupid of me to even think that because I know far better than that, but I tried to use it to fix myself. I tried to decide that I could be happy, and maybe you can for a short amount of time, but you can't really just say I'm going to be happy and then be happy when you have a chemical imbalance. That's not how it works. I think July was kind of a month of self-exploration and realizing that what I was doing wasn't working, but then I went back to brushing it under the rug because that is something that I got really good at doing. And now let's move on to August. August is the month that I got to go to a Niall Horan concert with my friend Kristen, which was such a fun experience. I loved going to that concert, and there was honestly a chance that I wouldn't be able to go because I wasn't sure if I could find someone to go with me. But then Kristen came through and we went together, and it was a really fun evening. He was so sweet. He was like, I hope you all get home safely. And I was like, what an adorable little bean. It was just such a fun experience. I loved One Direction growing up. It was so cool to get to see him on stage, and it was just so wonderful, and I was just so happy and so exhilarated after the concert because it was just so nice. It just felt so positive and lovely, so I was really happy. And August is also the month that my friend Ray and I took a 1-hour train to go see the Miseducation of Cameron Post, which was so fun. It was a really cool experience. I love the movie. It is now my favorite movie of all time, and I'm so thankful my friend was willing to come with me because no way would I have gone alone. I'm so thankful because we just got to spend an entire day with me taking pictures of the book anywhere I could, and then I got to see the movie, and it was just such a wonderful experience, and it was just such a good movie. It's a movie that means so much to me. I've talked about how much the book means to me, and the movie means the same to me, so it really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that I had to bring this up in the video because I loved that movie. Then in September, I celebrated my 17th birthday, and for my 17th birthday, I had a group of friends come over and we did a To All the Boys I've Loved Before watch party, and that was so fun, and it was just such a fun experience. Some of you may know that there was a decent period of my life where I didn't celebrate my birthday, and I just recently started celebrating it again last year with my 16th birthday, but I spent my 16th birthday with my family, which was great. But this was the first time in like 4 or 5 years that I spent a birthday with friends, and that's kind of emotional to think about, but it was so lovely, and it's so lovely to know that I now have a group of friends that I can do that kind of stuff with. It was really great, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that kind of friendship in a bit, but it was such a fun day, and it was just really great because they really came through for me, and I'm so thankful for that. Then in October, I went to an Alice Merton concert, which was so cool because it was a pretty small hall and we got to stand in the literal first row. That was surreal and so cool, and it was such a fun experience. I love Alice Merton. Her music is so great, and getting to stand in the first row, that's a pretty cool experience. So that was a really fun night. I just had so much fun at that concert. I just had so much fun, and I don't really know what else to say, so let's leave it at that. October is also the month that the Hate U Give movie came out, which I went to see twice. So that was again another experience that was so great because that movie is so important, and just the landmark of cinema is changing with these diverse book to movie adaptations, and that is so cool and so incredible, and the fact that I get to watch along that is really amazing. October is also when Halloween happens, and similarly like my 17th birthday, I got to spend Halloween with a group of friends. We did a Halloween party at one of my friends' houses, and it was so fun because again, this is something that I haven't really celebrated with friends as much as I've wanted to recently, and I got to do that this year. 2 of my friends and I actually did a group costume. I was Bellatrix Lestrange, one was Sirius Black, and one was Nymphadora Tonks. So it was really cool to get to have that experience and just to get to have a great night with friends where we watched one of my favorite movies of all time, The Sixth Sense. It was just so wonderful, and I just had such a great night, and it's really nice that I had such a great night because Halloween is my favorite holiday. November is the month that I got to meet Julie C. Dow and Stacey Lee, which was such an incredible experience. Those 2 women were so kind. It was so surreal, again, talking to them and telling them that I want to write a book, and getting to talk to published authors about my aspiring work is honestly such a great experience, and it's something that really motivates me to keep going because now I'm like, yeah, I told someone I'm doing this, so I guess I should do it. And it was just such a wonderful event and such a wonderful experience, and I'm so thankful for it. November is also the month that I finally posted about being depressed. I finally slightly opened up about it, not as much as I should have, but I started breaking some ground in that realm, and I will come back to that after I finish December and talk about some of the more positives of this year. So December is when my cousins all came to my house and we got to spend a week together, which was super fun. Again, like my trip in June, because it was such a short trip, we really packed the days so that we were really busy, and that was great because, like I said, I love being busy, I love going out, I love doing things, and I really got to do that week. So I really got to spend my break doing something, and that was really cool. So I just got to spend the week with family, and that was really cool, and that was really nice. So now I want to look back on this year as a whole. So again, this is the year that I had my first ever serious relationship, which is something that was a big stepping stone in my experience. And along with that, I think that I've also grown to be a more independent person, and I'm very happy with that growth because I'm much more happy being more independent, and I'm slowly gaining on a path to even more independence, and I'm very excited to do so, and I'm looking forward to that in the future because I think that being independent is something that will help me in the long run. It's something that is important to me, and I can see that helping me. Another thing I've done this year is really prioritize my friendships and prioritize going out and doing things and living life, honestly, having experiences, and that's something I again want to prioritize more in 2019 because I have realized that I'm an extrovert. I didn't know that for like the first 16.5 years of my life, that I'm a real extrovert. I need human contact. I am a people person, and that was a groundbreaking revelation for me. I'm honestly so lucky that I finally found a group of friends, and I'm so thankful to have that in my life. And then of course there is booktube to look back on. I have done so much this year in terms of booktube, and I think I covered a lot of that in this video. I struggled with booktube this year, which is something I haven't really talked about in detail on my channel. The first half of this year was really good, especially because of experiences like Y'Alliston BookCon, where I was so kindly included in the group. But the second half of this year was a bit harder because I was already going through personal issues, and those personal issues affected my relationship with booktube. I started questioning my place in the community, and I'm not gonna lie, it is something I'm still struggling with. In one sense, it is kind of the number sense, and it sounds bad to say that because I'm so grateful for the support that I've received. I'm so grateful for every single person who takes the time to watch my videos. I truly am. But I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and I dedicate a lot of time and energy to it, and unfortunately this is the type of thing that requires a two-way street. I just feel like I'm putting in so much and I'm not getting as much as I wish I was. So I have struggled in that sense. And then of course there is the mental health piece. Despite the fact that good things happened this year and good things are probably going to happen in 2019, I am struggling, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore because I feel like I've been doing that for so long. I'm struggling. Every day is a different struggle for me. I don't know what days are going to be my good days and bad days. I don't know what days I'm going to wake up feeling decent and what days I'm going to wake up wanting to cry. And it's hard. It's something I hope I can resolve this year, but I don't know if I will be able to. But it's really dampened everything in 2018 because I don't see the good of 2018 as much as the bad because of how much I've struggled. I hope that 2019 brings better things for me and for you. For anyone whose year wasn't that good, I can relate, but I can also say that this isn't how it's going to be forever, and I hope this isn't how it is forever because I have come out on the other side before, and I hope I get to come out on the other side again. And I hope to be more honest about my struggles this year. I hope to not sugarcoat it. I hope to not hide it because it's my real life and I want to feel like I am being as real as I can be. So I hope that I can do that in this upcoming year. Thank you all for sitting here and listening to me reflect on my year in 2018. I'm not sure exactly what 2019 is going to bring. It's definitely a year of transition and change for me because I'm going to be graduating high school. I'm going to be starting college, so it's going to be a year of transition for me, and I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. I hope it brings me more happiness than 2018 did. I hope that I learn how to be happy again. I hope that I learn how to prioritize myself again, and I hope that you all learn that too. I hope that 2019 is a good year for you. I hope that you get what you are looking for this upcoming year, and that's about all for this video. Thank you guys for sitting here and listening to me chat. Yeah, I hope things look up for the both of us in this upcoming year. Goodbye.